What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again with another Manchester City reaction video, where today we're going to be reacting to the Premier League classic, Fulham 4, Man City 5. So, before I do crack on with this video, do go check out my social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up on today's video. Do get your thoughts in the comments below, and do subscribe as well to my channel. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest City content here on YouTube every single day, so do subscribe. So, where really to start with this game, because what we're looking at here is two sides defensively not great. I know there's been some question marks over Leno and over Donnarumma, both goalkeepers for Fulham and for Man City, about 9 goals going in this game, with this game pretty much having 9 opportunities. So both sides very clinical, and both sides with well taken goals and making things happen. And I think both sides defensively very suspect, and both sides could improve on their defence and tightening things up. So I don't really need to speak more about the defence. In terms of the attacking side of things, you know, Erling Haaland showing his quality, hitting the post a couple of times. You know, we could easily have come away with scoring 7 or 8 goals in this game, and equally Fulham could easily have come away with scoring 6 or 7 goals as well, which, you know, it causes me concern how easy it was for Leeds at the weekend. Bayer Leverkusen beating us. You know, Newcastle, how open of a game was that? Newcastle could have scored 4 or 5. So Man City are just conceding opportunities all too easily, and we're conceding goals too easily as well. And we always just look suspect to conceding goals, and it's taking us to score 1 goal more than you mentality for us to actually win games and pick up 3 points, which by the skin of our teeth, we're making it happen against Leeds United in the relegation zone and Fulham, who were sitting in 15th place before this game. So we're making harder work of games than we need to be. And I think the frustrating part from this game is that this game was wrapped up, done and dusted. We're 5-1 up, we're 4 goals clear. We're into the second half. We've got all the momentum. You know, Fulham came flying at us in the second half. We took a couple of well-taken quick goals. Takes all the momentum away, and Man City really should have got to grips with the game there. Dominated the game and defended how they were defending in the final 15 minutes of that match. We should have been doing that at 5-1, and if you're not going to do it at 5-1 and you get a bit lackadaisical, then do it at 5-2. That's your warning sign, because you've got a bit of grace there, because you've worked really hard in putting your opportunities away. You've got that bit of leeway there if it gets to 5-2 or 5-3, that you don't let things get too close into a grandstand finish. And fair credit to Fulham, never gave up, continued fighting for every single ball, continued to really put City under pressure, distributing the ball, making things happen. Smith Rowe had a good game, Wilson had a good game, Chukwueze, when he came on, had a real good game as well. So Fulham have got a lot of positives to take away from this game, and it's exactly what I'd said after the Leeds game as well, which is if Fulham can play with the same determination and skill sets and tighten up a little bit at the back, they're going to be just fine. They're going to climb right up the table, because how they played today would be enough to beat a lot of Premier League teams. And the same with Leeds at the weekend as well. With how they played in that second half, they consistently applied that over 90 minutes and played to that level against every single team. Leeds would be nowhere near the relegation zone. So it's all about consistency, and Man City know this, because, you know, we're former 4-time consecutive Premier League champions. When we come to town, teams are going to take the game to us. They want the big scalp. They want to make things happen against us. So we've got to be prepared for that, no matter what scoreline we're looking at. We saw it last season, 3-0 up, 15 minutes to go against Feyenoord. You do not take things for granted until that final whistle goes, whether that be 1-0 up, 2-1 up, 2-0 up, you're leading by 3, even 4 goals. It's not enough. You've got to tighten it up. You've got to see games out. You play to the final whistle. Thankfully, unlike last season with that crazy game against Feyenoord, where we did blow that 3-goal lead and we ended up dropping points in the Champions League, we've not felt the impact in terms of dropping points in this game, and we easily could have, had Josko Gvardiol not done that clearance at the end for Manchester City. So there was warning signs there. There's warning signs coming up right now with how we've played against Leeds and Fulham, and my fear is we're going up against, in terms of this little 3-man rematch game over the course of a week, which I've said is very, very much cup final time and season defining for City, it's got to be 9 points across them 3 games against Leeds at home, Fulham away and Sunderland at home. Sunderland at home coming up next. Sunderland, for me, the team that's in the best form out of them 3 sides, the team that's most physical, the team that's going to be able to make things happen, a team that's very sound defensively as well. They'll fight tooth and nail for every single ball, so that's not going to be an easy game on Saturday. We've got to persevere. We've persevered against Leeds and got through by the skin of our teeth thanks to a 91st minute winner from Phil Foden despite being 2-0 up, and we just about made it through despite being 5-1 up in the second half to come through the skin of our teeth to win 5-4. Took some lessons away from this. Firstly, City defended them final 15 minutes very well. Momentum was there with Fulham. We did a good job of gaining control again. We looked tighter defensively. We navigated them 8 minutes in added time very well, and it was well seen out by Manchester City. And that's what we should have been doing when it were 5-1 or 5-2, not waiting for it to get to 5-4 and very much squeaky bum time where we all have hearts in our mouths, we're all shaking and we're all thinking typical City are going to be dropping points from a position that we shouldn't be dropping points in. And it was the same against Leeds United, 2-0 up at half time. You're coasting, you're thinking the 3 points are wrapped up, you relax, and then once you concede, the doubt set in, and once the doubt's there, teams find it all too easy to start building upon and making things happen. And at the moment, City seem frail, and for me, writing very much on the wall, suggesting that at some point we're going to be in for a big shocking result, whether that be against a team that you really expect Man City to beat, or in a game that City are going to be leading by 2 or 3, we end up dropping points or losing a game. And I feel like something very soon is going to come. So we've really got to try and take the positives and build on the confidence to say it's back-to-back wins. It's our first away win in the Premier League since the beginning of October. Fulham's not an easy place to go to at Craven Cottage and score 5 goals. We managed to make that happen. You take the positives and you start working in training on tightening things up in terms of the defence and making sure we're not conceding opportunities. Because not only are we now conceding real good opportunities, teams are starting to find a way to be clinical and put these opportunities away. Writing on the wall against Newcastle, scored 2, should have scored more. Leverkusen, too easy for them, scored a couple of goals, didn't need to do anything else. Against Leeds United, 2-0 up, coasting the game, score a couple of goals, and same here with Fulham, 5-1 up, coasting, game's done, it goes back to 5-4, and in the space of a very short space of time, and you know we have a lot of work to do to see out games in games that we should be finding more comfortable than what we are. And in the end, it's great to get 3 points, and I'm delighted that we've got 3 points, but I'm just not happy with how the game's gone, how the things have come about, and we've got to do much better, because at the moment we're scraping by the 3 points. 3 points is all that matters. Statistics will show 3 points onto the league table. Pressures onto Arsenal with 2 points behind. It's great, but when you look at the Premier League, you know, it's not a knockout competition. It's not the Champions League where you don't really care how you win as long as you win and you go through. How Man City are playing right now, everything seems to be pointing towards we're going to be dropping points, and we're going to be dropping points very soon against teams who do know where the back of the net is, who do know how to tighten up at the back, and City aren't going to get them opportunities to score the 2, 3, 4, 5 goals like this evening to pick up the big 3 points and make them gains on Arsenal. So we've got to learn some lessons, recover properly, and get our preparations sorted in time for the Sunderland game, because I was speaking about in my stream, Man City want to start tightening things up in defence. I do think defence is something that City could seriously have a look at in the upcoming January window. It's great to be getting linked with good players like Antoine Semenyo, for example, but there's a big Kyle Walker gaping hole on that right-hand side. Matheus Nunes, I thought, leaving a little bit to be desired from a defensive point of view. Offensively, getting forward, great. Same with Nico O'Reilly, getting forward, great. Defensively, I'm reserving judgment a little bit. And our centre-backs, once Nico G had gone off, looked all too exposed. So not enough protection there. And John Stones just looked off the pace, but that's going to happen. And we saw it in the game against Leverkusen. The backup players are not getting played enough. They're not sharp enough. They look out of place. Savinho, I think, suffers from that as well. That's why you're seeing Savinho struggle a lot for form, because he's coming in and he's struggling to adapt to the pace, power of the game, and he's not getting any momentum. When he does get his starts, he's just too rusty to get going. I'm confident that there is a good player there somewhere, but it's going to take a few games consecutive for him to find that form, and he's not going to get that at Man City. It's not going to happen. So I think that's something that City need to think about in the upcoming January window. And if they're not going to think about it in January, it definitely needs thinking about and sorting out for next season. As I suggested before, this is a transition season for Man City. So I'm not expecting the complete article. There's going to be games where we drop points in games that we should not be dropping points in. We're going to pick up points in games that I'm maybe not expecting us to. It's just part and parcel. It's just, when it comes down to the basics, your game management's got to be on it. You've got to be tight defensively. You've got to put your opportunities away. In terms of them 3 points, we ticked one box, half a box on the game management because I thought we managed the game well at 5-4. We do that at 5-1 or 5-2. We're here having a very, good conversation about Man City being back and learning them lessons. And at the moment, I'd have just said just tighten up a bit defensively, and it'd be nice to keep a clean sheet because at the moment, we weren't seeing many saves made. Donnarumma made one good save. Everything else is just, City not closing down and Fulham finding too many ways to get shots on goal. And it's just, I could also suggest, and I did suggest it on the live stream, and I'm going to stick with it in this video as well. Sometimes you just have crazy games in football. You have a crazy Premier League classic, and I'm just glad and happy that what we're looking at here is the Premier League classic, because City were 5-1 up and it went 5-4, and we managed to hold on. And it could have been equally as a classic if Fulham had gone on to make it 5-5 or Fulham go on to win the game. So just dealing with a crazy game of football. We've got the 3 points. We've got to learn the lessons and quick. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon because we're still transitioning, and I just think there's a lot that City could be working on in training, tightening up defensively. I'd like to have seen Khusanov start in this game just to help tighten things up at the back for me, because I think defensively he's been more solid than what Nunes has, we've also got to try and find a good balance here, because otherwise player fatigue could become a big issue, that we've got to try and find ways for players who are getting that many minutes to get minutes and improve their rustiness. And the only way you're going to go about that is maybe doing 2 or 3 changes a game and hoping that these players come good, because we're playing again on Saturday. We're playing again next week against Real Madrid. We're playing against Crystal Palace away. We've got a League Cup game, arguably our best opportunity to win a trophy this season against Brentford at home. There's a game against West Ham coming up, and this is all before Christmas. So games are coming thick and fast for everybody. Rotation's key. You've got to get your squad depth up, and when players are given the opportunity, like Savinho's coming off the bench and Stones is coming off the bench, they've got to get up to pace very quickly, and that's all through rustiness. And I think City can do a little bit more. I think the players could do a bit more. I think everyone could do a bit more. But at the end of the day, most important stat, we get 3 points, we win the game, and we move on to the next one. All the warning signs are there. I'm not going to ignore them warning signs, and I'm delighted to pick up the 3 points, score 5 goals, and be involved in a classic that we've managed to come out on top of. But I just think there's a lot for City to ponder. So they're my thoughts, my initial reactions after the game. I'd love to know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up on the video. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest City content here on YouTube, so do subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again real soon for the next City video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.